This is VlogGnaw, the weekly vlog all about
Golfing.
What's going on, guys? Now, I almost got basically killed by you guys with all these demands for the Let's Talk Doris video. I didn't take so long to do it because I was lazy. I had to take this time to actually listen to the album. I don't know how other reviewers on YouTube, I've watched a few reviews already, they put it out after one listen or two listens to the album. I don't know how anyone can do that, because with music, your mind can change, you listen to something differently, you gotta give that thing time. It's been over 2 weeks since Doris has come out, and I still feel like there's more I could learn about it or still listen, but nevertheless, I am here giving you guys my Let's Talk video finally. I've probably listened to this album beginning to end over 20 times. One thing I want to clear up before I start this review is, of course, this video is going to be biased. Okay, this is clearly a YouTube channel about Odd Future. I went into listening to Doris already being a huge Earl Sweatshirt fan. If that is something that you don't want to hear, you don't want to hear a biased opinion, I would recommend stop watching the video now and just go ahead and leave. The whole reason I created this YouTube channel was to give an insight on these albums and news from a hardcore, diehard Odd Future fan. The way I see Odd Future, a lot of the music and art they create isn't particularly for the critics. It's not to make themselves even bigger. It's not to get a wider audience. A lot of it is for the fans or for themselves, and you kind of already have to be a diehard Odd Future fan to get that. You need to understand the culture a little bit. So my videos are obviously, they're for Odd Future fans like myself. So if that's something that you wouldn't want to hear, once again, I would recommend leaving. Now, obviously this is Earl's debut album, Doris. Besides, his earlier mixtape he released a few years ago, the Earl mixtape. And I would say the major difference between the two is Earl focuses less on saying crazy fucking shit that's just gonna drive people crazy or really just catch someone off guard, like raping and murdering, and just more focusing on actual lyrical content and more focusing on the music and the hip-hop that he creates. So there's not a lot of lines that are gonna really horrify you or make you think like, holy fuck, like this kid is really saying whatever. He's definitely taken a different path this time, or matured. And it's clear in Doris, Earl still is that lyrical monster that you remember before, he was taken away from Samoa. I mean, of course, from his recent works, like on the oldie verse and stuff, but he truly is just a lyrical monster. Like when you listen to other artists, like 2 Chainz or rappers like that, you kind of listen to their music and you could feel it, you could dig it, but it never sounds like that hard. Like anyone could kind of do it type of thing. They just kind of have that swagger about them that has launched them into superstardom. But when you listen to Earl Sweatshirt's music, he makes rapping sound like rocket science. Like I listen to that and I'm like, there's no fucking way I could ever do anything like that. He honestly makes rap music kind of like poetry. And that's something I've always really respected and enjoyed about Earl's music. Not only is this just a very impressive lyrical album, the production is probably my favorite part of this album. You have production credits from the Neptunes, the RZA, Bad Bad Not Good. Of course, Tyler has a few beats on there, and Earl took care of a lot of the production himself. And every song is just some really impressive instrumentals that I really dig on this album. Now, when it comes to the singles off Doris, which there were a lot of them still really are some of my favorite songs off the album. Songs like Chum, which are, have a lot of meaning to Earl's past before the album, which I really enjoy that. Hive is just a remarkable song, with Vince Staples. It's dark, it's heavy, it's one of my favorite songs easily. But unfortunately, and I know a lot of you are gonna hate me for saying this, but it's just my opinion, Whoa, I got very tiresome of this song after a while. It just kind of lost its magic, and that kind of ends up being one of my least favorite songs on the album. Something about that song, it's not very catchy, and it's kind of awkward to me. Some of my absolutely favorite songs in the album are Pre, first of all, which I saw on a few other reviews on YouTube, where people were saying that Pre was some of their was their least favorite song. It was just too basic, and they didn't like the beat. Something about that beat, it bumps to me, and I really enjoy driving around listening to Pre. It is kind of more of on the simpler side lyrically, but I really enjoy that song. It's just a good time, and it's a great introduction to the album for me. 20 Wave Caps with Damo is just, I love that song since they were doing it live. That is probably my favorite beat on there. Maybe that or Molasses. But man, Damo just comes really heavy on there, and I love that song. I love the chemistry between Earl and Damo on that song. Molasses, of course, yeah, that's probably my favorite beat on there, done by the RZA, and Earl just bodies that song. And then the hook with "I'll fuck the freckles off your face, bitch" is hilarious, and I love that song. That's probably my favorite song on the album. And then Sasquatch is an incredible Earl Wolf song. Earl Wolf songs are always a fan favorite, of course, and that's just one of my favorites, man. It really brings me back to some old school Odd Future. This the way even Tyler's flow sounds. It just really reminds me of some of their older styles. I love that song. Uncle Al is a great song on there too. Unfortunately, it's like less than a minute long. That beat and Earl's flow progression on there are just beautiful. I wish that song was longer. Some of the songs that I don't particularly like and kind of catch myself skipping every once in a while. First off is Guild, which I know a lot of you love that song. It's your favorite, so a lot of people are going to be upset that I said that, but it's just my opinion. It's a little too slow for me. I don't like the deep voice effect on there. It's a real sleepy song. It's very boring to me. The other song, which is even surprising for me, is Sunday. The first time I listened to Sunday, I really enjoyed it, probably because when I listened to Frank Ocean's verse, it really caught me off guard. You know, he addressed a little bit of the Chris Brown situation, and I loved that he did that, and it kind of got me hyped up. But after I got used to it, and the more and more I listened to it, just the song is kind of awkward for me, and I don't like it that much. I am happy Frank Ocean's rapping on there. I think he's a terrific rapper. I don't think people give him enough credit for that. But something about that song is just missing. Maybe a hook, like something that is just not making it one of my favorite tracks on the album. Overall, guys, with Doris, I think Odd Future fans like myself are gonna love this album. It's good that there's more Earl music out there, and we have a whole album to listen to of him, and you know, he's still that lyrical monster with great production on there. And I think outside of Odd Future fans, a lot of real hip-hop heads are gonna enjoy this album. They're gonna listen to Earl, and they're gonna really be impressed. The only thing I would say is really missing this album for me is something that like Wolf has, with a little bit of story that kind of gives it a little bit of a deeper meaning. You can look deeper inside of it, that makes it look incredibly artistic. But I can see why Earl wouldn't want to go in that direction, since Tyler has on his albums, and this is Earl's own thing. Overall, guys, I enjoy Doris as a whole. I really enjoy listening to this album, and it's definitely gonna be something I'm listening to all throughout the year, and it's just been a great year for Odd Future so far. I mean, we have a lot of good music coming, and that has already come. We have the Mellow High album next, so it's really exciting times. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, of course, like the video, and yeah, I'm gonna close this video out with some of your guys' tweets that you sent me with some of your favorite songs off Doris. This is something I want to start doing now to get you guys more involved in the videos, so yeah, check it out. Peace.